I'm in my zone. I woke up today, feeling brand new, nothing in my way. Sun gon' shine, yeah, it's here to stay. And I'm gonna say what I need to say. Hey, I'm feeling free. Everybody watching me doing me. Go ahead and look, cause you gon' see that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I'm doing me, yeah, just doing me. I'm doing me, yeah, I'm doing me. I'm doing me, yeah, just doing me. I'm doing me, yeah, I'm doing me. I'm in my zone. Everybody watch, you gon' see. Everybody, I'm doing me. Yeah, I'm in my zone. Everybody watch, you gon' see. Everybody, I'm doing me. Yeah, I'm in my zone. I'm in my zone. I'm doing me, yeah, just doing me. I'm doing me, yeah, I'm doing me. I'm doing me, yeah, just doing me. I'm doing me, yeah, I'm doing me. I woke up today, feeling brand new, nothing in my way. Sun gon' shine, yeah, it's here to stay. And I'm gonna say what I need to say. Hey, I'm feeling free. Everybody watching me doing me. Go ahead and look, cause you gon' see that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I'm in my zone. Everybody watch, you gon' see. Everybody, I'm doing me. Yeah, I'm in my zone. Everybody watch, you gon' see. Everybody, I'm doing me. I'm in my zone.
I've been talking in my sleep, I'm running deep, training till dusk. I've been playing hard to beat, I feel the heat, it's never enough. I was waiting till the sky falling, had my back till I could hear my calling. To the bottom, feel me in the drumming. To the flames, we're champions to rise. The arena, destiny is calling. Like the fire, victory is
Yeah. Josh, how about we do this episode the way the Penguins played tonight?
Ooh, that would be rough.
We're just going to end right now.
Yeah, the show is already a rough watch, so let's not make it any more.
I know. Holy cow. Yeah, speaking of rough watches, the Penguins sucked tonight. That was clear as day. I mean, we have a lot to talk about. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about the ramifications, Josh, of tonight's game. But before we do, something that the Penguins did not have whatsoever is energy. And this show is brought to you by Rogue Energy. You can go to rogueenergy.com/Pens Collective. Use code TPC10 for 10% off your entire purchase. Josh, did you know Rogue Energy had an app? Now you do.
I did. Yes.
So on the app, they're offering an exclusive 30% off deal. So you could go download their app, whether you have an Android or iPhone, download their app, and you can get 30% off your next purchase. No promo code required. Just go on the app, get what you want, and the code will automatically be added to your order. Make sure you guys go do that. Remember, Pens Collective is... I'm butchering this, Josh. I'm butchering this just like the Penguins did. Go to rogueenergy.com/Pens Collective. Use code TPC10 for 10% off. We're going to wait for some people to get in. Josh, do you have anything you want to talk about? Anything that's on your mind, not hockey related?
No, not really. My bracket is busted if anyone cares. The only thing I really got hanging on is Michigan State. I got Michigan State winning it all. So
you got Michigan State? Are they that good?
Yeah. They're always good in basketball.
I know, but they're good in hockey, and they've always been a little bit good in hockey. So I know they were winning there, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Football is what they stink. They stink right now. And
they used to be like a powerhouse in everything, and then
I know.
a lot of stuff started falling off. But
anyway,
I mean,
Josh,
I got nothing. I don't even know. Baseball is starting in 2 days. Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real
Rough
full
night.
circle. Are the Vikings going to sign Titans legend Ryan Tannehill?
Yeah, that's right. Put some respect on his name. That's right, Titans legend. That's absolutely correct. And you know
I didn't
what?
say Marcus Mariota. I said
another
Ryan
Titans
Tannehill.
legend. Yeah, another Titans legend. Both of them.
Mm.
You just had, just real quick. Yeah, I mean, you had a carbon copy of Ryan Tannehill in Sam Darnold. An amazing regular season, and then when the postseason comes, just I mean, if that's what you want, Tannehill's your guy.
We don't want that. Actually, we want.
But Tannehill's also the guy who played half the year until Will Levis came in, and then he had a good half season. So if he knows what it's like to have a young guy behind him and say, "Okay, take the reins."
But
hopefully
he's not saying taking the reins. So really quick before we do our intro, I don't think the Vikings are looking for a bridge quarterback anymore. We're looking for a backup. And no one wants to come and be a backup. That's our problem. So that's the thing. That's where we're at. So
apparently the Giants do. They got Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. Those pregame prayers are going to be fire.
Oh my gosh, there's going to be a revival in New York. I'm telling you, among the Giants fans, not the Jets fans. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, not the Jets fans.
All right, let's get started. Let's talk about it. Welcome to the horrible Pittsburgh Penguins, the Penguins Collective podcast show.
Penguins!
It's Crosby on Trinity shot. Penguins win it!
Buckle up, baby. Are you kidding me?
We're a collective.
So the
Wow.
Pittsburgh Penguins, that's how I feel, Josh. That's how I feel inside. The Pittsburgh Penguins fall. Not only fall, Josh. It's almost like they drove off a cliff against the Tampa Bay Lightning 6-1.
Kept that shutout. Love.
Yep. No shutout for Vasilevsky, although that would probably be. I feel like it would have been better. I don't know. Josh, how are you feeling about tonight's game?
I mean, we already talked about football. I'm kind of feeling like Coach Belichick. We're on to Buffalo.
Yeah, we're moving on.
I mean, the game felt like it was, when you're playing NHL, the video game as a kid, and you start losing 6-0, you literally just you hit quit or you hit the reset button on the PlayStation 2. Oops!
Yeah.
Oh, my thumb accidentally hit the reset
rage
button.
quit.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, we gotta do that.
Yeah. That's kind of how I felt about tonight after the first period. I was like, what is even the point?
And that was a hard thing, just because we started off good. Like the first 5 minutes, I was like, okay, we're keeping up with them, and all of a sudden I was like, oh jeez, what is happening?
Yeah, it was a hard switch.
It was a hard switch. And apparently, Phil Bork mentioned this during the broadcast, that during practice, Mike Sullivan yelled at the team.
Yeah, for no energy.
For no energy. They didn't get the rogue energy, Josh, but they got yelled at. Yeah. The team got yelled at. And I'm sorry, this is what was going on in my mind. If you get yelled at, and this is how you respond, oh my gosh, you prima donnas. Oh, boo-hoo, you got yelled at. We are not making the playoffs. We have so much talent in this room. You can't even come to practice in sunny Florida and show up. I don't blame Mike Sullivan. In fact, when that switch happened, you didn't think about it until Borky said what he said on the broadcast. Sullivan was mad. Yeah. Sullivan was mad. You could tell his face was red. He's angry, chewing his gum. He is not happy. And I just think it's over. I think it's over for Mike Sullivan. I think it's over for this.
Because that's what I was going to say. Doesn't it show that, you show up to practice, no energy, no effort, no nothing. You get yelled at, screamed at, cursed at, whatever, the whole nine. You probably did extra skating, extra whatever as a result. And then you come out to the game and it's as if nothing ever happened. You didn't get yelled at. You didn't, it didn't mean anything.
Or it's not that you didn't get yelled at. It's that it didn't work.
No, that's what I mean. It's as if you didn't.
Oh, it's F. I gotcha.
It's like it didn't take effect. There was no bite to his bark. It was literally just it's whatever. It sucks. That's the worst sign that you can see, and that's probably another reason why Sullivan was just as mad tonight, because it's like it didn't stick. Whatever went on at practice, it didn't stick.
Now, I see this phrase tossed around everywhere. It's not only in the NHL.
It's been for a while.
No, hold on. I want to clarify this. I don't think so. I don't think it's fallen on deaf ears. I'm starting to think that they just gave up on the season. And these guys are competitors, okay? You got to remember, these guys are competitors, yes, but there's always a line in the sand for competitors where they know they're just being outworked, they're being outplayed, and they're like, what can we just race the clock here? And nothing was going our way. Jari was letting in beach balls. today, and it was just so bad. So bad. And I think they just wanted the game to be over. And I don't think his message fell on deaf ears. I think they just gave up. And he doesn't like that. And you can't tell, this is the problem that me and Josh, I think we both agree in sports. Especially, like, there's no respect anymore for authority. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's just in life. Yeah, not just in sports.
No, I know. But you see it really in sports. Is that, like, when the coach tells you to do something, it's no longer like, yeah, coach. It's now, yes, Sully, I'll do that. It's like, hey, freaking do your job. Look, I got my dog barking, right? It's just like, hey, do your job. Don't look at me. I'm the coach. Go out there and hey, we pay you $8 million. Go block a shot. Or how about you play defense? And I'm sick and tired of this, where it's just Josh, I've been saying it all year long. It's just this dumb mentality. This dumb mentality of just like, well, we'll turn the page. We'll do the next one. Like, we pay you money. Do your job. How hard is it? Seriously. You guys, you claim to be so good. All these players do. All these hockey players think they have the swagger, what they need to do to compete. Holy crap. These guys just suck out there today. And you know what? I don't think it's fallen on deaf ears. I think they're done. I think they know.
I don't think Armand is just talking about today. I don't think he's talking about. I know what he meant. Yeah. Because
the overall vision of Mike Sullivan. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And to be honest, I have felt that way about certain players this year. Feels like they just don't respect Sullivan the way that, let's say, like Crosby does or Letang does.
Sure.
There's certain players that are just like, kind of like, yeah, okay, yep, like I'll do it to appease you, but it's, it's kind of like in the old days, it was always like, you want to do as the coach says, but you also want to do above and beyond.
Yeah, go work that extra 10%.
Yeah, do the extra 10. Do whatever. It's not it's not only jump when he says jump, but it's how high. It's going a little bit further. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you do. I don't know. There's a part of me that feels like if you retool, Sullivan will be able to, captain the ship to another playoff run. But at the same time, it's do you want to, or do you want to start with fresh blood?
Yeah, so Armand, you nailed it. I mean, we're all thinking of the same guy.
That's why I didn't list him.
we're all thinking the same guy. I mean, listen, is he even hurt? He got yelled at today. Is he even hurt? Do you know what I'm saying?
And that goes into my issues with the injuries of hockey. Like, just literally say coach's decision. Basketball does it. Coach's decision.
But see, Sullivan. Here's the problem. Why I'll take a bullet for Sullivan, because he knows how to play the game. He goes, look, I'm not.
Belichick.
He's like, I'm not going to say it's a coach's decision because that will lead to questions. Why is it a coach's decision? Is it because of the way he's playing? Is it because of that he's an upper body injury?
Yeah.
Oh, what is it? I don't know. We'll evaluate it.
Yeah.
Great coach, because he is not willing to throw him under the bus. And I think that is why the players have always been on his side in front of the media. Is because he will never throw someone under the bus, a person. Now, he said defense has sucked. He said the goaltending is not great. Mm-hmm. He said, oh, hey, our offense is not producing. But, guys, that's 6 guys on defense. That's there's 12 guys on offense. So he's not naming one guy. He never does. I mean, you take a 50-50 shot on goaltending, but it's just like it's honestly he's never thrown anyone under the bus. Malkin wasn't iffy until after practice. And then you find out he got yelled at. Malkin, of course, doesn't like that. Malkin, of course, I'm Evgeny Malkin. And that's why I have a big problem with Evgeny Malkin. And this is the problem I have with a lot of people, not only in sports, but in life. It's that they think they're too good. They're too good to do the small stuff. Guys, do the small things. If you could do it, do it. If you're there, do it. Do the small things. You know, if you're in front of a guy who's about to take a slap shot, buckle up, because he's about to take a shot. Don't get out of the way. Don't try to figure out a way out of it. Take the shot. Oh, you're on a 2-on-1, but your shot is blocked, or he's taking away your shot, not the pass. Give the puck away. Oh no, I want to make the shot. Buddy, we're losing 6-0. You make the pass. Or you try to score. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, Don't make it about you. This is a team effort. It's a team effort. And this is where we had a conversation weeks ago, if not a month ago, when the Penguins were actually really suffering and the tank was on, and we were talking about Sullivan, and we were talking about Malkin, and we're talking about Letang and their bad play. And I said I would sacrifice all of them, including my Sullivan, for a Stanley Cup. Because that is what a franchise needs to do. To evaluate. How do we win? Not who do we take care of. How do we win? And that is where we're at today. Sullivan, I don't think his message fell on deaf ears. I just think they don't want to do it. You know, like, they hear it. And if they applied it, I think they could win.
I think that's what that analogy means, though.
Falling on deaf ears is that there's... Yeah, I guess. Yeah, listen, I always think of the... What's his name? Bruce whatever from the Capitals. The coach. You ever see this... the viral clip?
No.
Bruce Cassidy? No, that sounds like a made-up name. But is he a coach?
The new guy? The guy
Big
who's
guy.
like 30, 35 years old?
No.
They're
old guy. He was big.
Past coach. Yeah, I know who you're talking about now.
Couple past couple coaches ago.
Yeah. Who is he with now? He's with Nashville?
Oh, I don't know where he is. But anyway, he's a big guy. And he's coming in the locker room. It's after the first period. Or 2 periods. It's after the second period. And he just drops like 13 F-bombs. And he always says, like, I have never seen a bunch of guys who feel so sorry for themselves after a mistake. He goes, oh my gosh, the guy turns the puck over and you're doing this and you're hunched over and you're coming back to the bench. And then he goes, don't think you want it. Go out there and effing want it. Like, if you want to do something about it, go do it. But don't think you want to do it. Go out there and freaking do it. Go out there and do it regardless if it feels good. Go out there and just keep on pressing on. There's going to be times where things don't go your way. That's life, that's hockey. The puck bounces weird, and we saw that today. The puck bounced weird, but after that, oh my gosh, it's 0-1. Who the frick cares? You're professional hockey players. You know, like, oh my gosh, I'm in a beer league hockey team and I have that mentality. I'm like, guys, we just need one. Louie, it's 6-0 in the third. I know, but guess what?
Just one.
We just need one.
Yeah.
And I genuinely meant it.
Phil Bourque was talking about at the start of the third. We just need one to get going.
Just all you need is momentum. Momentum is the most important thing with hockey. And honestly, I think it's more important in hockey than it is in basketball, than it is in any sport.
It's because it's so fast, the momentum can switch so
momentum
quickly, and it
so
carries
important.
you for a while. Yeah.
So important in hockey. And you just need to Honestly, if every player on that bench had a different attitude, different outcome. Different outcome. And listen, your immediate instinct when you start to lose is to do what? Be physical, hit, finish checks.
Yeah.
Get that out of your mind. Get that out of your mind. You should have already been finishing checks when the puck dropped.
What was up with the Mama doing that 2 periods later? That made no sense.
Because he was being held back by Sullivan. So, because Sullivan knew that was exactly what was going to happen, especially after the Grizzly hit. So he knew
that's the guy he went after. Yeah.
Yeah. But notice, he didn't play Imama as soon as that hit happened. He held Imama on the bench for a bit. Because he knew that was going to happen. Because he knows what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Mike Sullivan is like, well, no, I'm not talking about Imama. I'm talking about Sullivan.
Oh.
I'm talking about Sullivan knowing, like, guys, yeah, he hit our guy. Don't prove it by putting their guy through the boards. Get the puck in the net. You guys are talented. Get into the zone, set up, shoot the puck. But yet here they are struggling to get the puck out of the zone because our defense are deciding to play above the hash marks. Hey, guys, even I know that's not your position. Get back. You know, we had oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name. It was our biggest episode, Josh.
Oh, Jay Caulfield.
Jay Caulfield. I'm sorry, Jay. We had Jay Caulfield on here. And even his mentality is so different. And even I joked with him. I'm a fat guy in a gaming chair. How do I know the mentality you need to have when you're out there? How do I know where to be positionally? How do I know what's best for this hockey team? It's not because I'm a better athlete than these guys. All I'm saying is, hey, you need to have a better attitude going forward. Mike Sullivan is pissed off at this group. For crying out loud, I've said it from the rooftops since we had Carlson. 4 Hall of Famers on this roster. 4, guaranteed. And you can't get the puck in the net because you're sad? Because you let one in? Cry to your wife later. Get the puck in the freaking net. Like, holy crap, dude. Like, you guys are grown men getting paid millions of dollars to play with carbon fiber freaking sticks. Go out there and do your job. If I acted like that in life, in my job, I messed up on a phone call today. Oh, gosh darn it. I'm not going to pick up the next phone call. My boss would be like, what the frick are you doing? I pay you hourly for this. You think I could get away with how prima donna athletes act? This is the real world, buddy.
That's why a lot of them don't make it in the real world.
Guess what? Things aren't going your way in the first period. I know. Do something about it. And I'm not saying punch a guy in the face. I'm saying go out there and show him why. You're that good. Hey, Ryan Graves, we've been saying this forever. You're making $5.5 million a year. Act like it. And if you can't act like it, there's a plenty of guys in Wilkes-Barre jumping to make your spot, making league minimum. And I'll take 10 of those guys rather than a guy like you worrying more about his hair than his defensive skills.
I thought we were done with these rants so far into the season, but
like, no, I'm just so tired. It's more of like what is it? An attitude thing today. Like, it's not about the loss. We knew this was going to be a loss. Like, we all knew this was going to be a loss.
It's the way they played 100%.
It's the way they acted. It's the way they lost. Like, if this was in Pittsburgh, they'd be booed off the ice. Yeah. Like, it's just, listen.
There was no cohesion. There was nothing. There was no passes that, like, you can
Sid
say,
looked bad tonight.
Yeah, like, there was nothing that you can hold your hat on and say, you know, okay, yeah, like, game was bad, but, you know, their forecheck was good, or no, their passes were bad. I don't understand one bit how they played tonight. It made no sense.
And that's the thing that drives me nuts about it. Is like, listen, we all know we're not making the playoffs. Like, these guys know it. They're not dumb.
Yeah.
They're smart guys. They understand how the game is played. But you're going to go out there and you're going to try to play good. You're going to go out there and try to prove. Because guess what? Half of this roster is not coming back. Wouldn't you want to do everything in your power to try to go out there and make a name for yourself? Because here's my mentality. Now, maybe this is a different mentality from Sidney Crosby because he doesn't have to worry about anything. And that's not a negative on him. I'm just saying there's different kinds of people, right? One, guys who are extremely talented, don't need to work at anything. And then there's guys like us who need to scratch and claw to get what they want because they have to work at it, right? Like that's the story of our lives, and there's a story of many lives out there, is that they have to work. They have to go out there and work. Some guys go out there and work, and it just comes natural to them, right? It just comes natural to them. That's what guys like Sidney Crosby. My mind on that bench is, I'm going to go out there and score right now. I'm going to go out there and do what I need to do. I'm going to take this game into my hands, because if these guys don't want to play right now, guess who wants to get some credit? Because Mike Sullivan might not be looking at me because I'm a fourth-line winger, but he'll start looking at me if I'm the only one producing.
Yeah.
Look at Blake Lizotte. Look how Blake Lizotte played today.
That's 100% what I was going to say. Blake Lizotte, even just lately, to like take away this game, just in general, lately, for the last like 2 weeks, he's been playing like his hair is on fire. And like,
why?
That's
why?
Well, that's what everyone needs to be doing. And that's what like is so frustrating, is that like, you know, you would think that instead of having an attitude of coach doesn't like me, coach doesn't play the young guys, coach doesn't play the bottom six, show them a reason why they should be played, why you should be played,
right?
Why you should have more ice time. I don't get it. And that's where I think it, like you're talking about, it's the new era. We're going to sound super old. We're going to sound like, you know, we're old, but it's that new generation, that new mentality of, you know, well, you know, in AHL, I was a top liner. In juniors, I was a top liner. Like, you know, like,
yeah.
Okay, great. But now everyone that you play with was a top liner. And I think in this is why I think Rucker is going to be different, is because he had all that and he threw that hissy fit in Winnipeg and got traded here, and Sullivan was like, okay, all right, fine. You're starting in Pittsburgh.
Go.
And then rude awakening.
Yeah.
Rude awakening. And I think he took that in stride and took it to Wilkes-Barre and got better, because he's been
I'll never forget. Yes, that is true. And that's a great point, because I'll never forget that video when he was announced to the final roster and he was like, yeah, like he expected it.
Yeah. And
then here he is getting absolutely demolished in Pittsburgh. Like, he couldn't figure out where to go. He was out of position constantly. He couldn't keep up. And this is Pittsburgh, I may add. Like, this is not a good hockey team, you know?
Yeah.
So he was struggling at the worst. So, which means, hey, rude awakening, buddy. You better put your work in. You want to be here, put your work in. And that's the problem I have with this team. It's not that we're losing. It's the fact that we are not able to play well when we're bad. Like, that is just so bad.
Yeah. And one thing that has been circling the Penguins Twitterverse the last few days since the last game is because there's a certain individual who finished his season, and it's been like the greatest junior season since Sidney Crosby. And everyone is now begging for a tank next year so that we can finish first to get Mr. McKenna, is who I'm referring to.
Yep.
Tonight will be all of 82 next year, if that's what you want. If you want McKenna, you have to sit through tonight for 82 games next year. 82
games. You're absolutely right.
Because talent-wise, we are not the worst team in the league. Like, we are not San Jose. We are not, Chicago. Like, we are not that situation. A, because there's too much talent on this team, and B, because none other than the GOAT will put the team on his back for at least a week straight at some random point and carry us to multiple wins in a row. Okay?
Absolutely.
So you're not going to get that. But let's just throw the hypothetical that this is what they want to do. Okay? They want to tank next year. This is what you're going to see. This is the type of hockey that you'll see, because we're too talented for it to be this, to just be playing and let the talent take over and win games. We're past that point now. We're past the point of talent will get us a few goals, but what's it going to get us in the end? So I don't.
And I don't know about you, Josh. I am not built that way, and I don't think you are either. I don't want to do that. I don't want to sit idly by and try to get a guy. Like, there's talent out there. We could win a cup next year. We just got to do the right things.
That's what I mean, and that's why, like, I hate the fact that the talk of tank is being put out there for next year so that we can just get one guy. I get it. He's the next generational guy. It was Connor Bedard. It was Celebrini. It was, all these guys.
Now it'll be
whoever.
McKenna,
it will be McKenna. And I get that. But as long as you have these guys like Crosby, Malkin, Letang, Carlson, you can even put Rust and Raquel up in there. They're not going to just lay down and just let the season go out the window. So realistically, you're going to have to essentially have an entire AHL team up here in order for you to get to that situation. So I don't think it's going to happen. I just want to put that out there because it's been super frustrating scrolling through Twitter and seeing all that for the last couple of days, because it's like, you guys don't understand who's on this team. Like, it's just not going to happen, at all.
And I don't think the team, the fans really want that either. They say they do because it sounds nice, but I don't think they're willing to put in.
Yeah, no. Correct. They don't want to sit there and, like, no offense to those fans, they would just turn off the TV. They would just ignore the season after a while. But for, like, people like us who are doing this, like, we're going to have to sit through that, and it's going to be a disaster.
Invested just as much as the players. We just don't get paid for it.
It's going to be disgusting.
Listen, and that's the thing that drives me nuts, is that these guys, they have a passion for hockey. They're not going to want to sit around and lose just because there's a guy that might help the team win. We got 4 guys on here that 3 guys have won Stanley Cups. 1 guy that's looking and hungry for a Stanley Cup. And you're telling me they're just going to sit by? No, to your point. So I don't know. And I Hockey Talk here says, what are the right things? What are the right things, Josh, that we can put to for the Pens? I'm assuming that's what he's referring to. What are the right things that we can get towards as players?
I mean, I don't know. Like, the thing is, it's going to have to be that's what, like, if he's referring to, like, when I was talking about the tank, and that you have to get the right players, and you have to, it's kind of organizationally, you have to start back at the top. Okay. I'm a fan of Dubas. I think Dubas should stay. Okay. So if the rest of the organization thinks the same, perfect. Then you just start moving down. Okay. And you get to Sullivan. Is he the guy? Is he the guy moving forward? That's going to be the hardest conversation that you're going to have to make this offseason. And I think the conversation has to start now if it hasn't already. And if you decide not, okay, then get that laundry list of candidates ready. Like, you can't just go if you're getting rid of Sullivan, you can't just say, okay, there's like 2-3 guys that we have in mind. No, you better come out there with, we want to interview these 20 guys to be the next head coach, because you're not only looking at the next head coach of the Pittsburgh Penguins, you're looking at the coach that's going to end Crosby's career. You're looking at the coach that's going to be transitioning into the next era of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Like, it's not just the next coach. So it is a huge, huge question mark with Mike Sullivan and staff.
Yeah, and what
that's
Josh,
one that should be just one unit.
I mean, I love Andy Chiodo. He's my favorite. He's the reason why I got into hockey. But he's got to go.
He's got to go.
Like, he's got to go.
He's got.
Like, I love him. He's the reason why I'm sitting here today talking about the Pittsburgh Penguins. And if I ever met him, I would tell him that. And guess what number I wear? Number 40. Why? Because of Andy Chiodo. He's the reason why I got into hockey. He's the reason why I fell in love with the game. But guess what, buddy? Relationships end. And I love you as a player, but as a coach, you're just not doing the right things.
Yeah.
The stats line up.
And that's why if you get rid of Sullivan, I don't think you keep any of the staff. Like, you just can't. You can't keep any traces of Sullivan.
One alternative. I know you don't like this. What?
Who?
You know who I'm talking about.
Vellucci?
Mike Vellucci becomes
I
head
love
coach.
Vellucci as well. No, I'm not mad at that. I like Vellucci
That's the
as well.
only alternative. If you're getting rid of everyone, well, first of all, hold on, sorry. Let me rephrase that. If you're getting rid of Mike Sullivan, you get rid of everyone. Or you get rid of everyone and name Mike Vellucci the head coach.
Yeah, but then the only issue that I have with that, or I should say fear that I have with that, is that he keeps everyone else. Because he's a Mike Sullivan guy.
Yeah, but that might be part of the caveat of promoting it.
Yeah, I've seen in the past that they usually don't go for that. It's either an all or nothing.
He's an assistant coach, though. It's not like he's being... Now, that usually happens, Josh, that they keep guys, is because that's a mid-season change. This is an off-season change.
No, I get that. But what I'm saying is, like, don't the coaches have autonomy over who stands alongside them on the bench?
If I'm Kyle Dubas, no, they don't.
Wow.
Not right now.
So then that bodes the question: would Mike Vellucci be okay with that?
Oh no, yeah, we don't know. We can't speak for Mike Vellucci, but I'm saying, like, if I'm Kyle Dubas and we have to make that hard call to get rid of, because it is a hard call to get rid of Mike Sullivan. I do not care what your thoughts are about the Pittsburgh Penguins. He's a great coach. He has proved that. People have backed him by saying he's a great head coach. There's not someone who said he's a bad head coach. The only people who say they're bad head coaches are people behind keyboards who are saying, oh, why did he hold that guy out? Why did he do this? He's a good head coach. You know how I know that? Because the Penguins have stunk the last 4 years, and yet he's still there.
And he gets appointed the USA job over guys like, who's the Flyers coach? Tortorella, who literally did an amazing job with the Flyers. Like,
he turned them around.
Do not like him, but an amazing job turning that team around. So, I mean, you can't argue the fact that, USA Hockey is like, yeah, we're going with Mike Sullivan. And one could argue that regardless if he's the Penguins coach or not, he might be coaching Team USA in the Olympics in a year and a half.
Yeah, like, here's the thing about Mike Sullivan. It's the same thing about Mike Tomlin in the NFL. Someone's going to pick him up immediately. Like, you'd be an idiot not to, get Mike Sullivan
leader
as
of
a
men.
head coach. Yeah, he's just one of those guys that you have to have on your bench. And that's what you're debating right now if you're Kyle Dubas. hey, Mike Sullivan's a great coach. Am I doing the best for him as well as for the Penguins? Because best for him may not be the best for the Pittsburgh Penguins. So you have to really consider your options here. Because I don't want to just settle for Mike Sullivan. Do you know what I'm saying? In the case of fear of not getting to the playoffs. Do you know what I'm saying? Or not getting the right guy. I don't want that to be the reason why we keep him, because I'm sure he doesn't want that. I'm sure he wants, like, hey man, just let me go. Like, if this is that, let me go and try to get a job. I think I don't want to see Mike Sullivan go, but I think you do have to have a hard conversation with him and say everyone needs to go. Are you okay with that? Because he brought his buddy on for power play, and granted, our power play got better this year, so you can't argue that.
Yeah.
But
and defense too. He's there for defense, and you can argue that got better as well this year. I mean, Chris Letang has been blocking shots. Now, granted, it's only been the last month, since Four Nations, but he's been playing a lot better defense since the Four Nations break than he was 2.5 months ago,
as well as Erik Karlsson. But my thing is, once again, it all comes back to this. Are we where we need to be to go and try to win a Stanley Cup?
Yeah.
If the answer is no, then you have to have a hard conversation and say, hey, we're not doing what I'd be shocked if Quinn and Vellucci are here next season. Not because they get fired, because they're getting a job somewhere else.
I think Vellucci's opportunity with another team has passed, unless if he becomes an assistant again somewhere else and then moves his way up.
That's what I'm saying. Oh yeah, I'm not saying he's going to become a head coach.
Oh, okay, all right, okay, gotcha. But so then that means that. Quinn. But to be honest, they're not leaving on their own for a lateral position.
Yeah, but they could be. They're just as competitive as players. You're telling me?
No, that's not how. Completely different in coaches. With coaches,
I guess. I mean, I would want to win too, but you're also secure. But yeah, wouldn't you get more security in a winning team than a losing team?
Depends on the team.
So if you want to join Tampa Bay, who is always good, is always up right now,
but they may not have any openings. So
no, I know. I'm just saying, wouldn't you rather join a team like that because you're going to be secure because they're going to be good? Now, granted, that's nitpicking a conversation. But what I'm saying is, I honestly don't know what Kyle Dubas is going to do this offseason with the coaching. We all know what he's going to do with the trades and the draft.
Yeah, to be honest, I think this is his linchpin offseason. This is going to be his defining offseason. A lot of people are saying that, we're not going to do anything. We're going to tank next year, and it's the season after that, the offseason after that. I disagree. I think it's going to be this offseason. You have to make a decision with the coaching staff. You have to make a decision with the roster. You have to make a decision with all those draft picks. What are you doing?
Yeah.
If it is a rebuild, then this is step one. Then the next offseason is important, but it's not as important as step one. You can't get to the end result without taking that first step. And I understand that he possibly took the first step last offseason, in terms of making all of those trades and signings to, short-term signs, trading for draft picks, getting Rucker. I get all that, but I don't know.
I think it's still defining.
Huge offseason. Yeah.
I think it's still defining. I don't think that's defining last season because I think that was I wonder, it's kind of like if you're cooking.
That was a building block.
Not even a building block. I think that was if you're cooking and you're like, I wonder if I add a little more salt. and then you add a little more salt, and you're like, ooh, too salty. Let me add something else to counter it. That's where the mid-season trades were, to counter the too saltiness.
The off season.
So the off season. So I think he's right now. He's right where he needs to be. He's good. Now, what are you going to do next? What are you going to do next after that? Is going to be a big thing.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on. We'll invite you, but you got 5 minutes because we were going to wrap up anyway.
Who we inviting? Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had chat closed. Is he coming on just to gloat about the Hurricanes?
I don't know.
Because we already lost bad enough. I don't need any more.
I
don't
invited
need
you.
Salt in the wound, AB. I don't need salt in the wound.
Yeah, but I think it's a very big off season for Kyle Dubas. I think it's very defining, and I think it's a really important off season for the Pittsburgh Penguins. I honestly believe. All right, and ladies and gentlemen, we have AB from Caniac Sessions joining us. There you are, sir.
Yo.
What's up, guys?
What's going on?
Nothing.
Like I said,
I'm not here to
no-
gloat
no-
because
okay.
the Hurricanes just lost 3-1 against the Predators. So I'm not here to gloat.
There you go.
I did see Michael Bunting scored in that. So that had to...
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we both got burned on Michael Bunting a little bit, so.
Yeah.
All right.
So how was Crosby? I texted Louie. I said he isn't going to get the points. And he was like, all in the first period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, he got an assist there, so he's one away.
One away.
He's one away, but not all the way.
Yeah.
That is
He'll
true.
Get there.
He'll get there. I think
it's
we
like
have a game
Ovi.
against
He'll
Buffalo.
Get the record.
He's got a game.
He's projected to do it against the Hurricanes. So that makes me feel
Ovechkin.
great.
Yeah.
Ovechkin.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have been kind of hyping up that Crosby, Ovechkin, let him score that final goal in Pittsburgh, have Crosby and him handshake at center ice while Wayne Gretzky comes out on center ice and hugs them both and kisses them on the forehead and says, "Good job, my kids," and walks away. But I think he's going to do that way before, just as Sidney Crosby will. We're playing Buffalo on Thursday. I think he's going to do it there. I mean, he's always played well against Buffalo, especially in Buffalo. So I could see Crosby getting at least 2 points, and then
the most goals he has against teams, we are third for how many goals he scored against us.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So it's gonna happen against us.
When is that game? That's
April 2nd.
Okay.
April
I was gonna
2nd.
say because
So he has time, but
yeah,
knowing our luck, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I don't know if y'all have seen the thing that Ovechkin put out. He gave a game warning to this goalie he scored against, and he said, "You were my first," and signed his name.
Oh,
wow.
So
I don't know if that's like a compliment or like a.
no, it's
like,
a compliment and
it's like,
a shot.
hey man,
Yeah, right.
it was because of you and your sucky goaltending that I'm here
What was
today.
the result for the Penguins?
A lot to nothing. So it
6-1.
was 6-1.
6-1? Who'd y'all
Yeah,
play?
Tampa Bay.
Oh,
Tampa.
yeah.
Yeah, Tampa Bay
Expected.
absolutely. Yeah, we knew we were going to lose.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the number. It wasn't the score that bothers us. It's the way they played. You know, obviously the Penguins need to play. even if they lose, they need to play like hockey players, and unfortunately, they did not do that. A lot of turnovers, a lot of. It's almost like we were watching a beer league hockey game. That's kind of what it felt like. A lot of guys just upset to be out there on the ice, and it just wasn't good.
Well,
But
I tweeted this out at the trade deadline because we traded Mika Rantanen for
yeah,
Stankoven, 2 first rounders and 2 third rounders, and we did it late, but we were trying to get Ricard Raquel, and it didn't get done in time.
yeah,
But I really wanted him to come to Carolina.
yeah. Well, see when
we wanted those first round picks.
yeah, so,
y'all need it.
yeah. But no, I Kyle Dubas came out and said that people called and asked for Ricard Raquel, but he wasn't looking to deal him. So, obviously, if the deal was fantastic, I'm sure he would have said yes, just like any of us would do if we were in his position. But I didn't know Carolina Hurricanes was the one calling on Pittsburgh to deal him.
They were once that Stankoven deal happened. Well, Mika Rantanen, I won't say my opinion on him. I've already said it on Twitter.
Sure.
But 2 first rounders and 2 third rounders, and Stankoven is a young player, very short, but he has promise for us. But Carolina does not need 2 first rounders. Because we have a defenseman coming in who is the 3rd best prospect in the NHL, was the captain of the best KHL team, SKA St. Petersburg. Kuznetsov plays there. Kovalchuk played there. A lot of these guys. So what I've heard, and I have some little bit of connections with former players, we offered Raquel. For Raquel, we offered a first-round pick in 2026, and later years, a second-rounder and a fifth-rounder, and they didn't take it.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I wouldn't want to take that either. If I was Kyle Dubas,
Well, y'all need it more than we do.
That is true, but we need Ricard Raquel more than you do. So I think that's the reason why. I think if there was a player involved, I think maybe that would have turned it. I'm not saying all of those trades and then a player. I'm just saying maybe like I don't think we would have gotten a first round. Actually, yeah, maybe a first round.
No, you would have. For that player, you would have.
Yeah, maybe a first round, a player, and we need an NHL ready player. I mean, we're stacked thanks to the Gensel trade. We're stacked on Wilkes-Barre, so we're set there. We're just looking for guys who are NHL. So if there wasn't a guy who was ready to come over, I don't think he would have pulled the trigger on that trade, and clearly so.
All right, well, y'all tell me, what do you think about Erik Karlsson? Do you think he's traded?
I'm sure you guys would love him. I'm sure you guys would love him.
No, we don't need that cap.
No one does, buddy. No one does. We don't need it either.
We'll take your worst prospect in a 7th round draft pick if you take that contract.
Yeah.
You'll have to pay 50% for that. Well, the Hurricanes are second.
Oh, did we lose him?
And you have Mitch Marner coming in, and the Hurricanes literally tried to trade Rantanen
for Marner. I did see that. That's what he's talking about. He's talking about that rumor. I saw that.
We'll let him go.
Sorry,
We'll
AB.
let him go. Sorry, AB. Yeah, there was just bad connection there. But, yeah, well, let's talk about Carlson. Yeah, we're looking to get rid of him. So we're looking to get rid of him. I think everyone is aware of that. And then I know the Carolina Hurricanes are interested in Marner. We've been throwing out. This is all gut. We have no connections whatsoever. This is just assumptions and hopeful prayers that we receive Mitch Marner in the offseason. And there's only one reason. There's not really many reasons. We have the cap. And there's a connection between Dubas and him. That's the only reason. And we think it would be great for the Penguins to get that. So that's where we're at. But, you know, that just goes to show what we were talking about before AB came on, which was it's going to be a very important offseason for the Pittsburgh Penguins. And we could speculate all day, but we need the season to end first. And games like this don't really help the time frame go any faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these games kind of slow the season down a little bit because it just shows, you know, it's a mirror held up, and it's just like, oof, don't like that. So, yeah, that'll pretty much do it. Josh, do you have anything else to add?
No, I think that's it. I'm ready to turn the page on this game.
Yeah, turn the page. Let's move on. Let's go to Buffalo, which is Thursday.
In Buffalo.
In Buffalo. That's our last away game for a bit, and then we're going back on a little homestand. Josh, does Sid do it in Buffalo, 7 o'clock Thursday?
Yeah, he owns Buffalo.
Yeah, he does own Buffalo. I think he could get more than 2 points. You know, I think that's going to be really
He just
cool.
needs one.
I know he does, but I think he could get more than 82 points.
Oh, I see.
Like, I want it to be a definitive point per game. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want people to say, well, he was hurt for 2 games, so he technically only got 80 points. It's like, no.
They can bring that up for any of his seasons because
I know.
This has literally been for every season.
I know.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I want him to, like, I could see him getting 100 points. Do you see him get 100 points? No, that's a little too much.
That'd be tight.
Maybe 90? I can see him getting 90.
Yeah.
Get him
Let's
90
go for
points.
90.
Let's go for 90, Sid. But yeah, I think he does own Buffalo. We'll see him on Thursday. You could see us on Thursday after the final horn. We go live on all major social media platforms, which is YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, now known as X, and Twitch. All at Pens Collective. And you can find this podcast wherever you find your favorite podcasts. And make sure you go to our YouTube, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. We put out a weekly episode, so that's where you can catch it there. You can also join our Discord, where we do some exclusive stuff, and we have some chats going through the game. We had AB on when this chat came in. I wonder if he's still there. But this was Captain Hooks on TV. All right. Third to last in East. I will rebuild. That's what we're doing. That's what we want to do. That's a full rebuild?
That's a topic for another night. That's the topic for another night.
Josh says that's a whole topic for another night. I agree with him. Let's wrap up this one. Josh, any last words?
That'll do it for tonight.
All right.
I'm going to bed.
All right. And as always, Josh.
Let's go, Pens.
It's Crosby. Crosby on